Hi, I'm Chef Haun. Today I'm going to show you how to make an easy periwinkle chowder with periwinkles you find off the beach. Quick and easy, bring your friends and family down to the beach and be able to have a great chowder beachside in a matter of minutes. So now we're on the beach, we're going to see if we can find our periwinkles for our chowder. Right here, the best spot to find periwinkles are the little tidal pools. On a hot day, they get away from the hot rocks and like to move their way into the tidal pools to keep themselves cool. So you can see right here, we've already got some starting to collect the water and some moving towards it. So it's really easy, just pick them off, touch the inside, make sure they shrink back. That lets you know they're alive. Really important when picking anything from the beach, any type of shellfish, know your tides and know what's going on in the water. It's easy just to check the Department of Fisheries website and find out if the beach is closed, say to a red tide due to toxins. Really important. You can get yourself really sick not knowing what you're eating off the beach, so you want to make sure the water around the beach you're picking on is nice and clean and it's safe and approved by the government. Okay, so we have our periwinkles here. We've picked off the beach. We're just going to get our butter started in a pan. And we're just going to take some chopped onion. And saute that in with the butter. Okay, once we have the onions just starting to soften with a nice simmer, we're going to take our nice pump house fire chief red and we're just going to deglaze the pan. Give that a quick stir, and we're going to take our periwinkles. We just wash them off in some seawater, get them nice and clean, make sure there's no sand or mud. We're just going to toss those in there, put a lid on them, and let them just steam so we can open them up. So now we have our beer and butter and onions coming to a nice simmer. Our periwinkles are starting to open up at the ends, and you can see the shell just starting to open up there. We can take it off and let them come to a cool. Okay, while our periwinkles are just cooling off, before we clean them, we're going to start our butter in our pan and we're going to throw in some wild boar bacon, and this is going to be the beginnings of our chowder. You just want to move around the bacon, get a little color on it, let it melt off some of the fat. The fat melted off from the boar bacon is really going to help saute our onions and garlic, which will begin the first process of our periwinkle chowder. Alright, so we have our periwinkles cooled down now, enough that you can touch them. So basically you're going to end up taking this little sealer that seals the periwinkle inside. Use a toothpick, and you're just going to pull and twist. There's your periwinkle. At the end you have the muscle. This is his little foot. That's what allows him to walk around. And here's the nice meat, and this is what you're looking for. In case you're wondering, this board, we're just blocking the wind. Being here on the Bay of Fundy, the wind can come up pretty quick, so you kind of just have to roll with the punches when you're cooking outside. So we've got our wild boar bacon coming to a nice crisp. We're just going to add our diced onion and saute them until they're translucent, as well as a little bit of our minced garlic. Okay, now we have our onions softened, bacon's come to a nice little crisp. We're going to deglaze our pan with our pump house. Now when deglazing, you want to reduce off the alcohol completely and let it reduce down. Okay, we have our beer just about reduced, the alcohol is burned off, and when deglazing, what you're doing is just any stuck on bits on the bottom of the pan, you're just putting it in there to really lift it up and add a flavor base with the beer or wine. So we have that reduced. We're going to take our mirepoix. So we have some celery and our carrots mixed in with our onions. We've got just a nice small dice on this so it cooks quick. Because that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to do a quick, nice outdoor chowder. Something you can just have everything ready, cut up, take to the beach, and make a nice chowder for friends and family. So we're just going to saute this around for a few minutes, soften the carrots. Now our whole vegetable mix has a nice saute on it. We're going to add our flour to thicken our chowder. So we're just going to sprinkle it in. And move it around. It's going to make a nice paste. This is going to be your roux. Now you're going to want to turn your heat down at this point. You don't want to burn it. The flour is going to want to stick, so we want to move around the mixture quite vigorously. So once we have our roux cooked off, and we're just cooking off the flour just so you don't taste it at the end, we're going to add in our milk and cream. And you can increase the heat a little, but don't put it on high. You don't want to burn it. And at this point, I like switching from my wooden spoon to a whisk. So we've added our cream and brought this to a simmer. It's still a little thick, so I'm just going to thin it out with a little milk. And we don't want our chowder too thick. You want it nice and smooth. And we just need this to come to a simmer, and then we'll add in our periwinkles. Our chowder's come to a nice simmer. It's nice and warm. And remember, when making a scratch chowder, it's a balancing act. Depending on the amount of flour you put in, you really want to make sure you hit that right consistency with your milk and cream, because you don't want it too thick and have it just a paste. So now we've got our potatoes. Now, because we're outside and we want to make a really fast chowder and quick, just so we can feed some people, we had the potatoes already blanched off. So these are already cooked, peeled, and cut up. So it's just going to take a second. We're just going to be reheating them. As well, we have our periwinkles. They're all cleaned up now. The shell's been removed and the connector muscle has been taken off. So we're just going to add these in. And remember, once you add your seafood, you don't want to keep it on the stove too much longer. You don't want to make your seafood tough and overcook it. Now, once that's cooked up, you want to check your seasoning. We're using, of course, being in New Brunswick on the Bay of Fundy, we use Bay of Fundy sea salt. We're just going to add a little more milk to this. This is getting a little thick. Now we've got the chowder just about finished. Remember, if it starts to stick on the bottom, just turn it off and let it sit for a minute. Whatever's stuck on the bottom will end up lifting off. We're just going to finish this off now. We've got a nice chopped herb mix. We've got parsley, lemon thyme, and a little chive. And this is just to give it some color and add some aroma. Give it a nice stir, incorporate everything, and have a quick taste just to double check your seasoning. And that's not bad. So here we are, we're finished with our wild boar and periwinkle chowder. Simple recipe, simple ingredients, some carrots, some onion, garlic, potatoes, of course our beer, bacon, and periwinkles, cream and milk. Simple, you can do this, anybody can do this. Coming down to the beach, have everything all cut up, just bring a small burner, a pan, and then have some fun with the kids or some friends and go pick the periwinkles and clean them yourselves, and there you go, food from the beach. It's as simple as that and a great recipe.